YouTube, what's good? Welcome to another episode of New York Prison Talks. If you're new to my channel, I ask that you please like and subscribe. I like to send information to family members who have loved ones that's incarcerated and people out here that still face a time that could take some advice. Today I wanted to talk about the Latin Kings. But before I want to talk about, y'all like my shirt? It's a LaCroix shirt, a little nice little high cloud. You feel me? This was like $200. I ain't paid for this shit though. It was like $200 though, but it's a nice little shirt, little high cloud, little smiley face, LaCroix, a little rainbow shit. I actually jack it. I like it. Y'all don't gotta like my sweater, but I like my sweater. But yeah, getting back to what I was talking about. I wanted to talk about the Latin Kings. You know, when it comes to the Latin Kings, when it comes to the LKs, they're actually one of the most less drama games when it comes to game banging. They more silent. They stick together. When it comes to the Kings, a lot of them dudes that be coming, that's king, coming to new facilities. A lot of them has been gang banging for a long time. A lot of them was already gang banging. Latin King was in the town already and got locked up and started gang banging. LK still in prison. Like, them Kings don't be like, they do and they don't. Like, every gang recruits up top, but it's not as, they not like the Bloods where they just recruiting everybody, or I can't really say the Crips, but mainly the Bloods, like, they'll just recruit everybody. Like, the Latin Kings, they don't be on that type of time. Because a lot of them already be like LK from the streets. And they just come into prison and they still jacking they shit. But when it comes to them, they love to show a lot of love to people. A lot of love to the people that's in their gang. Like, if you king and you come into a new facility and you don't have nothing like that, they immediately open arms. You welcome. You get showered with all type, whatever they got. You gonna have something for a little while to hold you down. No, they like to show love to all their peoples. They stick to themselves. A lot of the Kings mess with the Three Bulls. The Three Bulls mess with the Kings. You know, they all Spanish. But when it's go time, that's the separation part where they be go time. You got some Dominicans that might step in and might help some king niggas and shit. But it doesn't be nothing crazy when it's time for war. When it's time for war, all the kings go out by themselves. When it's time for war, all the Three Bulls, the Pacquiao niggas, they go out by themselves. When it comes to the kings, like, they having beef with their own mans, they like own people. It's not like the Bloods. The Bloods be making shit hot. Like, don't get me wrong, somebody gotta get shot and they in their own clique and shit. I mean, it's either you're gonna get caught or not get caught. There's no way to try to avoid that hotness if somebody's about to get shot. There's no way you can avoid somebody getting shot and police might not find out. There's no way really. If a nigga get shot, you don't know what can happen. He might tell or he might make it hot, something like that. But when it comes to them having beef with their own peoples and shit, it's not as bad as like the Bloods. Like, that really don't even be happening like that. Like, the Kings don't be getting into a lot of trouble and shit when it comes to a lot of drama and shit when it comes to them beefing with their own peoples. There's a lot of kings that like to get the bag. That's mainly what I seen throughout my bed. It's always a king nigga that get the bag, and he have all his little homies sell too and shit like that. It be a lot of big homies. I seen it, like, when I was in Elmira, I seen a lot of big homies. I just call all gangs Big Homie. I don't know exactly the name, or I'm gonna say Big LK, Big Latin King. I seen a few of them, like official Big Latin Kings, like that was 50 years old, got 30 years in. It really was like that, all tatted up and shit like that. Really was like that. That's one thing about them Kings. They like getting tatted. They like getting that shit tatted. They like to get their face tatted. You know, they like to just be tatted. You just know they gang banging, whatever gang they on. But it's a lot of Latin Kings that like to get high off that Janita shit. and it's a fact. Janita's a boxing. It's a drug. It's a blocker for heroin, and that's what a lot of dudes in jail. Period. A lot of white boys, a lot of Spanish boys, like to sniff that Janita shit. You know, that's like a blocker for dope. And there's a lot of kings that do that shit. They're not supposed to, but a lot of them be doing that shit. If you gang banging, you're not really supposed to do drugs. That's one of the rules they be having in common. You're not really supposed to be doing hard drugs. Let's put it like that. And a lot of kings like to sell and take. They sell what they be using. A lot of them sell that Janita shit, and they also be taking that shit on the low. You could just look at their eyes and their pupils be mad big and shit. Or next thing you know, they getting piss tested, and now they failing the dirty urine because they was getting high with the Janita shit. That Janita shit is nasty. I don't understand how dudes would want to fucking sniff some shit that look crazy. I never had tried that shit, but I could just see the way how dudes take that shit, and like an hour later, they looking, all eyes is bloodshot red and shit like that, just from taking that shit. But that's what a lot of Latin kings like to do. When it comes to the wars and shit, they gonna go out. Like every gang gonna go out the way they go out. When it comes to like the gangs that really just be surviving in the jails and shit. Cause when it's Crips is just always going out everywhere. They going out every chance they get. They just going in and out. And they all separated. If they had a whole gang of Crips and shit and they all went out, that's a different story. But all of them be going out one by one. Niggas be going down one by one. But when it comes to the kings, I done seen kings beat some blood niggas up. Like I done seen some king niggas do a few 8 niggas dirty before. Like to the point where it was like 3 or 4 on, cause they already know what type of time them blood niggas be on. You feel me? The like gangs know, if they know they gotta go to war with the Bloods, they gonna make sure they gonna try to spark it first. Like every time they see a blood nigga or something. And I remember it was in Franklin. It was about 4 niggas on this one little blood nigga. He was little as fuck, but it didn't matter. He was gangbanging. This is the type of shit I be talking about. And they would beat the shit out of that nigga on the walkway. I'm watching the dude just getting, it was no police around. No police around at all. He was on the walkway and it was cold. It was snowing out. It was snow on the ground and it was wet on the ground. And I'm watching these 4 Latin king niggas just stomp this one black nigga out. I was like, I felt sorry for him because the little blood nigga, he was 8. And everybody knew who he was because he was like 18, 19. And it was like, that's the lifestyle he put himself in. I ain't feel sorry for him. He put himself in that lifestyle. You want to be acting like you a real gangbanger, and then when it's time for niggas to start fighting you and cutting you, you can't fold on shit like that. I'm not saying he folded or anything, because it was 4 niggas on him. But I could see after it was all over, and I seen him a couple days later. I mean, he didn't tell her anything. He held that shit down. But I seen him after a couple days later, he felt some type of way. He looked like he was scared type shit. Like he wasn't ready for that type of shit. And you know, them king niggas don't play. They'll like, just like the Pacquiao niggas, they'll pull out a hammer on you and try to cut you off the rip too. That's a fact. They don't play with that shit. They take their shit more serious. A lot of the kings and Bloods fuck with each other hard body. You know, a lot of, like, it's just blacks and Spanish fucking with each other. You know, it's divided and it's also separated at the same time. But a lot of Spanish and black people do be sticking together in prison. It's just the gang part be dividing everything up. Just because he blood and he's king, they cool, but they cool with each other to a certain extent. Now, let's say if all the gangs didn't exist in prison, it probably would still be on some, the black chilling with the black, the Spanish shit, but it would be more, probably a little more different just because nobody's in the gang. You know, it would probably be less beef. Just because a lot of them, the kings, I can't say the three bulls and the Bloods be talking to each, because all the three bulls, they don't know Spanish like that. Like, they really don't be knowing Spanish. They really don't be knowing English like that. But a lot of kings know English. Like, all the kings I knew English and Spanish. And they actually be fucking with the Bloods. A lot of them be selling drugs to each other. You know, they hold each other down. I only seen it one time when the kings and the Bloods went at it one time. And I was like, 2015, some shit like that. 2015, 2016, when I seen the little blood nigga getting stomped out by the 3 or 4 kings. And I only went on for a few weeks. I was saying about, I think one of the big homies got shot by mistake. Blood big homies got shot by mistake, and then the Bloods tried to spark it on the Kings. And when you got shit like that going on, that shit could go on for weeks and months and shit. But that little shit, that little beef that they was having between the Bloods and the Kings, that didn't go on for that long. Like, the Kings don't be getting into that much shit. They don't even really get into it with police. The main thing they gotta be worrying about is catching the dirty urine, because they like to get high all the time, and police be watching that shit. But when it comes to them trying to go at it with wars and shit, it's not really like that. They just like to get money. They show all the love and support to everybody that's in their crew. They making sure everybody's got food and everybody got some type of money or they good. Tobacco, coffee, clothes, all that shit. They stick together. But they also not on some type of time where they trying to bully you, or some type of time where they trying to do something to you. They not on trying to extort you and shit like that. A lot of them like to play spades, or they just chilling. A lot of the kings is old heads. A lot of them are official ones. There's a lot of young ones too. But when I was in the Max, I seen a lot of the kings that was old heads, that was really official, teardrop. Like, you could just tell they probably wasn't even from the state, but they just in New York prisons. And you could tell they look like they from Texas or some. The way they just be tatted, some of them just be looking like they not even from New York. And it was like, but they be the coolest ones. The ones that be looking like the most serial criminal killers that's Latin King, those be the calmest ones. You be thinking like, yo, this nigga looking like he about to off somebody every time he step out his cell. But they be the calmest ones. Little do you know, they be the ones where you could talk to. You could be like, yo, what's good, bro? He be like, yo, what's good? Yo, Latin King showing my love to the Bloods. You feel me? Like, they be the main ones. Like, I never really, I seen Kings and Bloods live in a box together, same cell and all that. I never seen that, no problems. I never seen problems like that. Those one of the coolest gangs that be on some calm shit, trying to get money. If something happens, it's time to go, it's gonna be time to go. But other than that, they just basically chilling, minding their own business. That's it. That's basically it. They got their own phones, and every jail is always a Latin King phone. It's always tables in the yard in every jail. They got Latin Kings got like I said, they the second biggest gang that I seen, that I know. I'm pretty sure they the second biggest gang. That's all they be. Is Kings and Bloods and Three Bulls, and I know it's not that many Three Bulls compared to the Kings. And they got the position in every jail. They got the position on phones and tables, little areas, probably in the day room or something. They got their own seats or some shit like that. You got some mediums. They got certain Latin King houses where they don't be on their bullshit. They might just have it organized, the house organized or something. You feel me? It be the Bloods that be on their bullshit, that want to just act like bullies and want to be bullying people all the time. But if you king and you chilling and shit, it don't be that much drama and that much static like that. That's real shit. That's real shit. It's not really much to say about the Latin Kings, because it was like, I didn't see as much activity as if I seen the Bloods. Like, the Bloods and the Crips, I seen wild activity. And like I said, I'm gonna say this again. You got some Latin Kings that's black. But the ones that's black, no Spanish. They know Spanish. Like, it's not many. Like, trust me, it's not many. Like, I seen about probably a handful tops my whole bit that dudes was black. Like, I seen a couple Jamaicans. And like, they wasn't black as fuck to the point where you think, because there's some really dark skinned Spanish dudes out there, but they was really black. Like they was really, like, they didn't have no blood correlation that had Spanish in them at all. They was like fully African American. That was just Latin King, and probably learning Spanish, or they already knew Spanish. It's not many like that. But the ones that be turning black, that be turning king and they black, I see that they be, it's either you selling drugs or you putting in some more kind of work. To me, it be looking like, because I be seeing the ones that I seen that was black and Latin King, I always seen them get into the most trouble or some type of shit, or doing the most. They probably got the bag, or they probably the ones that gotta shoot somebody. That barely happens. with the Kings. Like they be shooting people. Trust me, they be shooting. But they don't get into much drama. Like it be the Bloods all the time, just getting into every type of drama. And I would never understand that. But if you Lion King, man, I show all my love to y'all brothers. Y'all official in jail. I knew a few from Staten Island. I knew a few from upstate. A few from all over the city. You know, they don't be on no type of go time where they trying to extort you or bully you. They don't be on that type of time. They really be on some chill shit. A lot of them like to tag people, tag people up and shit like that. You feel me? You living with them, you ain't gonna have no problem. A lot of them, like I said, a lot of them kings, if you living with them in a cell, like in a box or something, they know mad people. They probably official big homie or something like that. In the population, it's good to know when a Lion King in the population, because I'm telling you, them niggas be wild cool. It be wild cool, and it usually be like a big Latin King nigga. That what happened with me, it was always like a big Latin King nigga that probably was my cell neighbor or two cell neighbors down to some shit that I was always cool with. And I always see him chilling and shit, always happy and shit. He might got life and he's always happy but chilling. They be chilling. They be the calmest ones ever. The ones that be looking the most criminal, the most looking like they the most killers walking around in the jails be the calmest ones. For real. They be the calmest ones. For the kings, not everybody. But they for the kings, they be because they done did so much time and they tired, they getting older. Their body probably not healing as much as they was when they was in their 20s. They more tired. They not just on some staticky shit the way they was. They already proved their point. Because there's a lot of them that's big kings and a lot of big kings in prison. And they just be one of the main ones that be just on some calm shit. You feel me? But everybody that come to my channel, thank you for coming. I didn't really have much to say about the Lion Kings because it's like they stood to themselves and they was moved on a different type of time than like the Bloods or some shit like that. You know, so if everybody that's coming to my channel, I ask that you please like and subscribe. Thank you once again. Have a good day.